Hello! I had a couple of conversations with people this week, which made me think about who you are. Because the first conversation that I heard or was part of, there was someone in the group saying that they had done drugs and they think that that's a good experience, basically, and I think they had been to India or something, and there'd been some sort of festival and they'd experimented and done stuff, and they were saying that people, they're saying you should experiment and you should do those things, and they were saying to me, how do you know who you are if you don't experiment? You should try it, you should experiment so you can find yourself. And I was thinking they were kind of naive to expect that everyone who went, especially in India, if you're female, if you went to India and just as a female and just started experimenting and doing stuff, I think it'd be naive to expect that everyone would have a good time doing that. But anyway, that's beside the point. The main thing that I was thinking about was that I don't need to experiment to know who I am. I can understand it in a sort of vague sort of way of you've got to do some things in order to know, or in order to be doing things or to progress yourself. You've got to be actively doing something, but it doesn't have to actively be experimenting with everything just for the sake of it, just to cross it off some list of things to find out who you are, if it doesn't even appeal to you. And anyway, there was another conversation that happened this week, a bit more flippantly, is that someone said regarding Easter that they dislike it because people have too much chocolate on it. And I said it's only one day a year and it's not very much really. And they said, well, how many Easter eggs did you have? And I said I had one on Easter. And they said, oh, that's because you're you. And I thought, there you go, you've just shown that I am me for something that I didn't do, which is binge eat chocolate on Easter. But regardless of the specific of Easter, I was thinking, you are you because of things you don't do, as well as things you do. There's loads of words of things you don't do that are description words of you, like teetotal, atheist, non-smoker, I suppose that's too weird, but teetotal, atheist, things like that. Those are things you didn't do. You didn't drink, you didn't have a religion, and so forth. But they are descriptions words of you. I mean, like, what if those apply to you? I'm not saying they apply to you, but there are words that mean you didn't do something. And they can be used to describe someone. So you don't have to experiment with something to know who you are, because who you are could be a not did those things. I was thinking in like a big sense is like I was thinking there's lots of things I don't experiment with that I guess are part of who I am. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I don't cheat on my boyfriend, I don't drive recklessly, I don't there's loads of things I don't do. They're just part of who I am, and it doesn't even, if it doesn't appeal to me to experiment with doing those things, I don't have to, just for the sake of finding who I am, because you know who I am already. I'm me. I don't have to prove who I am by experimenting with drugs and then saying no thanks, I already tried it. I don't have to try them in the first place. I could just I can say no from the start if I want to of things. I don't have to prove that I don't like them just so that you can be okay with my answer. It's my answer. It's me. My answer is who I am. That's sort of it.